What's up, guys? The NBA season is back and is the best time of the year for the boy DC. Because you know me, in my other lifetime, I was a basketball player shooting threes like Steph Curry. So once again, I'm partnering up with the DraftKings Sportsbook to give all new customers a fantastic offer. Bet only $5 or more and get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you use my promo code DCTV. Player props, betting lines, points scored, rebounds. You can do everything at the DraftKings Sportsbook, and you could do it with some bonus bets when you bet only $5 or more. So guys, take it to the rack with DraftKings Sportsbook, where every point counts. Bet only $5 or more and get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you use my promo code DCTV. So support your favorite team in the NBA and get behind them at the DraftKings Sportsbook, where the crown is yours. Another episode of Funky and the Champ. I'm fat. Jamal's like skinny fat. Right? He's like you're skinny fat.
Take it back.
Today I chose violence.
I'm suing. Sue them. I had the mute on for the fight. Sorry, Daniel. I did mute you.
You guys are going to be lifetime enemies because of the shit you say the moment you get a microphone in your face. Bro, you're crazy. What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Funky and the Champ. I'm Daniel Cormier. That has been Askren. What's up, Funky Ben? It feels like we haven't done this for a long time.
It hasn't been that long, though. I know
it has.
You're missing me fast. I believe it's been 2 weeks. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to go through the content and see if it's been longer. Hey,
that's what my son says. I don't know if your kid said it now, but if I say something that's questionable to him, he always goes, "Search it up."
Yeah, it's the best. Having Google is the best. Yo, I win arguments with my friends just straight out of Google because they're idiots. They don't use it.
Really?
I'll be having stats, everything. It's the best. So
but you're a pretty good bullshitter, though. So I would imagine, because bullshitters used to get away with a lot more, like
back in the day when you couldn't fact check us. Now you can fact check us, so it kind of kills my game a little bit. It kills my game a little bit, but
you're evolving.
Dude, I used to get dudes. Oh, so it was right. It's been 3 weeks since we did it. See?
So like, right, you won this fact check.
You don't care about me. You just don't care about me, dog. It's really messed up. And you gonna ask to see me this weekend. No, you ain't gonna see me this weekend. If you actually miss me, maybe you would.
I'm not coming to damn Vancouver. They're communists up there.
Oh my God, man.
They are. Don't get me started on Justin Trudeau. We're to make this a political podcast.
Ben, what are you talking about, dog? You're crazy.
Justin, I am not crazy. Just search it up. You'll figure it out.
Ben, hey, last weekend I was in Abu Dhabi. Dude, the travel was brutal. I went 16 hours each way twice since August.
Did you get a direct or did they
I go direct from San Francisco. But it's too long. 16.5 hours in that tube is not good, man.
No, you get one of those lay down beds, which that does. I've done that a few times. It does make it incredibly easier.
It does make it easier, but still, it's
not great.
You're not sleeping on those planes, like not over the course of that time. Yeah. So I'm at UFC 308. I'm sitting down with all these fighters. Ilia says he's gonna starch Max. He goes out and he does it. Khamzat says he's not gonna be any different against Robert Whittaker than it was before. He goes and he does that. Shara Bullet does a spinning back fist.
Double
back fist. Danny Gay and Lerone Murphy had a sick fight. Every fight on that card was insane. So when you broke down that event as a whole, what was like your biggest takeaway? Like, was it Khamzat Chimaev is the best middleweight in the world? Was it Ilia Topuria may just be the most well-rounded featherweight we've ever seen, even though we've seen all of those guys? What was your biggest takeaway from UFC 308?
I would say Topuria probably. And this is I love these cards over there. Saturday afternoon pay-per-views are tremendous. I wish they did a few of them per year. It's so great to just, Saturday afternoon, just put them on Saturday afternoon, chill out. You're watching, you're hanging out, fights are going on, and then they're done by like 4:30 or whatever, and you can go do whatever you want with your family. It's awesome. Topuria was really, really impressive. He's good everywhere. I was actually kind of thinking like Topuria might be what we thought Connor was going to end up being, or we thought Sean O'Malley was going to being. He's got a great personality.
Could I ask you something real quick to
Go.
stop you on that point? I don't mean
Yeah,
to cut you off.
go for it.
Did we really think Sean O'Malley was going to be that? Just be honest. Like
I thought
Topuria,
once he got rolling,
not
there
in
was a
terms of
chance.
in terms of personality, maybe. But
Yes.
Topuria came here as a wrestler. O'Malley doesn't have that. Connor never had that. Like that, to me, limits the idea that those guys could have been great long reigning champions.
Well, I actually think Connor, had he stayed focused and not done the booger sugar, probably could have been. I mean, he just kind of stopped fighting. Like he was really, really a good fighter. He had a few weaknesses, but then once he kind of achieved the level of fame, his life feels like it just changed, and the frequency at which he fought went way down. He never defended his title at either weight class, not one time at 55, 45, or 55. And Sean O'Malley, obviously, like the Peter Yan fight, showed some weaknesses, but then it kind of appeared that maybe he's gonna get over them and get through them. Marab, I suppose, was the boogeyman in that division.
There's a couple, right? Because Umar
Umar
Nurmagomedov has that
also,
same ability.
yeah,
Like
yeah, that's fair.
it makes
Um,
it hard to think that he would be able to just continuously get through those guys
yeah,
with those
but
wrestle heavy approaches.
yeah, and now with Topuria, you see, Holloway and Volkanovski kind of ran that division for a really long time. I have to go back and look, but it feels like many years.
No, many
And
years.
and he took them out back to back. Non-competitive. Neither bout was really all that competitive.
Hey, he got
Yeah,
them both in less than one fight. He got Max in the third. He got
yeah,
Volk in the second. He got through both of them dudes, two of the three greatest featherweights of all time.
yes,
He got through them in less than 5 rounds, bro.
yeah.
It's crazy to think of what this kid's doing.
So, and he's still young, and they matched him up with some interesting fights, even for a wrestler. Sometimes wrestlers maybe don't have great grappling, but they put him against Bryce Mitchell and he dominated him. That was the first fight where I was like, oh
Submitted
shit,
him.
he's really good. Like, holy moly. They put him against Ryan Hall, who's a very tricky, like that's
Nope.
kind of like a hard person to beat because he's so skilled in one area. So they kind of like have thrown him against a lot of different
Do you
people.
think maybe that? Do you think maybe that though? One of the biggest knocks on Sugar Sean was that they didn't think he was fighting the best.
They did, yeah, that was a big knock.
Right? Do you think that though, because of Ilia going through what he went through with those types of fights, he went through Bryce Mitchell, who at the time was the man, and Ilia beat him to the point that he just grabbed him and put him in an arm triangle and choked him out.
Yeah,
Then
he was so bad.
he beat Josh Emmett, bro. Do you remember how bad he beat Josh Emmett in Orlando?
So bad. It was
Bro,
so ugly.
That was ugly.
Was that like the worst scorecard ever in UFC history? Wasn't it like a 50-42 or something to that effect?
He beat the crap out of Josh Emmett. It was,
Yep.
and Josh Emmett's the hardest puncher in the division. So you kind of knew like this dude is really, really scary.
Yeah.
So he starts doing all these things, and then he goes out there and he wins the fight against Volk. And then I started saying to myself, if this kid, hey, because the kid's a superstar, like, bro, the president of Spain is like, is there a president?
Well, he's got that buddy that plays soccer that's like really famous.
Sergio
too.
Ramos is the man, bro.
I don't know nothing about soccer, but
listen,
I guess he's famous.
I've made friends with Sergio Ramos just by knowing Ilia Topuria. And to me, that's awesome.
Oh, look at DC just name dropping on the podcast.
That's what else, bro.
I'm friends with Sergio Ramos. We play FIFA together.
Stop. Did you see my suit Saturday? Did you see that suit?
Were you wearing purple?
Bro, it was like a maroonish burnt. You want me to tell you why?
Burgundy? We can't be friends anymore. You're getting too fancy. You kept your humble roots for a long time. You wearing effing burgundy suits and saying you're friends with Sergio Ramos. I don't know if we can do this anymore.
Well, this one here, Ben. You want to know why I wore it?
Why?
Because before they go, hey, we're in Abu Dhabi. Steve Harvey's gonna be there. I say, oh, hook me up then, because Steve Harvey.
Wait, the guy from Family Feud.
Steve Harvey wears like that nice suit all the time. I took a picture with him. I said, Steve, they told me you were coming, dog. I said, so give me a nice suit. He said, boy, you're crazy, DC. You the man, boy.
Oh my God.
I love Steve Harvey, dog.
My favorite clip on almost all the internet. There's this one clip I'm sure you had to see it. So Steve Harvey does the Family Feud, which is a great show that I watched
It
growing
is.
up,
Yes,
right?
he's the man.
And there's an attractive woman and this dude, and they're at the buzzer, when they come up to the buzzer, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
And this dude just starts woofing at her, and Steve Harvey's like, "Bro, ain't your wife over there?" Have you seen
He
that
already
clip?
goes, boy, he always like, I don't want to be you tomorrow. Because hey, some of the stuff they say on Family Feud, I'm like, these people are crazy. Because they're married. Hold on, I'm trying to find the picture of me and Steve. I walk right up, he came up to me, DC, what's up, boy? I said, Steve, I said, they told me you were coming today, baby. I said, make my suit real nice. Hey, look at
Oh
that.
my gosh. You're too funny. I love it because okay, we're friends again because now you're humble, admitting
You
like you're
like
so
that?
excited to meet Steve
You
Harvey.
like that?
Back like in 2008 when I posted that picture when you were too scared to talk to them basketball players
Boy,
that I didn't know them, and I had to go say, "Hey man,
you're
my
right.
friend wants a picture with you. Can we
Bro,
make
because
this
guess what?
happen?"
Because guess what,
What?
bro? It's hard. Like, bro, they told me. I saw a story yesterday where this famous rapper went up to Michael Jordan, asked for a picture, and Michael Jordan like cussed him out, went crazy on him,
Well,
told him he
Michael
paid him
Jordan, he's different. He's
$15,000.
different.
Bro, still, it's hard to ask for photos. Anyhow, back to Ilia Topuria.
Okay.
Bro, his son walks in there and hands him a rose.
Wait, he's got a kid?
He's got two. He's got that little boy, and he's
Oh, I
got a
didn't know
new
that.
daughter. And he just had. But did you see the kid? Hey, dude, it all works. It just kind of all works.
Yeah.
For Ilia
Mhm.
Topuria, right? He's always well dressed, good looking
Yes.
kid,
Yes.
beautiful family. It's
Didn't you
crazy
ask
to
him why
watch.
he was so rich or something?
Bro, I had to ask him. Bro, man, his gym, bro, my gym in my house. No
Yeah.
lie, bro. Cage, hyperbaric chamber,
Uh-huh.
weight stuff, mats, wall mats, photos up, maybe $110,000. His was $2 million in Spain.
Man,
How does he have that money?
he's just exaggerating.
How does he have that money?
Maybe he took out a loan.
No, because you make your money once you're the champion. I built
Yeah.
all that gym, and it might have cost 110 grand.
So what was his answer?
He said he does things outside of MMA.
Uh-oh. Man, my man's running some cam girls or some type of ring over there, isn't he? Like the Tates.
Bro, he was shadow boxing on a helipad at the top of his apartment building, which was unbelievable. This guy's got some real
Okay,
cash.
interesting.
It works.
All right.
Hey,
I don't want to ask any more questions. If I know any more, they might have to kill me.
Pimblett said he still beats him, though. Do you think?
Patty Pimlet's crazy as shit. Give me a
Patty
break.
Pimblett said he still beats him. They were scheduled to fight. Patty says,
Oh, in like
I
Cage
still
Warriors or
believe I beat him.
something?
Huh?
In Cage Warriors or something?
I don't know. Patty
Okay.
Pimblett said he still believes he beats him. Seriously.
Oh my
I just saw it on MMA Junkie. He said, here, let me read it to you.
I still believe I could beat Sad July if I wrestled at the World Championships tomorrow.
You do?
No, no. I said I was making a comparison to
I'm
the
about
nonsense.
to say why. Look, Patty said both. He called him. Remember, he called him. He would beat him if they cross paths. He's a heavy hand sanitizer boy with the win because he called him heavy hand sanitizer. Heavy. Well done, Ilia. Give you your due, lad. 16-0 hand sanitizer boy. I can't wait for him to come back up to lightweight. I still think I beat him. I really do.
What is the hand sanitizer comment?
He called him a hand sanitizer because he's like scrubbing, like opening the curtains or something. Chael was telling me about it yesterday. It was weird. He said he's just a hand sanitizer boy. They were going to fight each other. You think Volk beats him in the rematch?
No.
Really?
Volkanovski beats Topuria? No, I don't.
You don't think he beats him?
No.
Wow.
I mean, since when do younger guys get worse, right?
See, so that's the thing, right? They always say the younger guy wins a rematch.
Yeah, always. I mean, they're getting better. 27. Think about where you were at when you were 27. You were just coming into your prime. You didn't even start fighting until like, I don't know, 31 or something. I mean, come on.
I started at 31 years old.
Like 31. That's what I'm saying. 27, that's just going into your prime. Volkanovski's been in some wars. I mean, I don't know. I'm honestly like, give Diego Lopes a shot. Why not? Why not? Right?
You want to give the new guy?
Yeah, I think so.
You think Diego Lopez beats him?
Nope. I don't think any of these guys can. None of them right now. He's the best. That's why he's the champion. He fought everybody. And if you're I don't
Ben,
know what
this is
Topuria's
hard. This is
what.
hard because you actually don't love to just give Flowers that much. You
Yeah, he's
always
really good. Daniel, rewind. Luis, go find this. Whenever he beat up, we were doing the show when he beat up, was it Bryce Mitchell? When he beat Bryce Mitchell up, I'm like, dude, that guy is really good. Like, I'm really like, yes, I do not get really impressed. This is December 10, 2022. So somewhere around there. I watched him. I said, oh my God, this guy's freaking like he's really good. So what I was gonna say is I hope they follow the prayer strategy, and I hope Topuria wants to be active, and I hope they keep rolling him out here every somewhere between 3 and 5 months, right? Keep him active, make him a gigantic star. Because I think he's that good, and I think he can beat up all these guys, no problem.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, with that being said, he said he would submit Islam.
I would wait a couple fights for that. If I were the UFC, I would say, hey guy, hey, we'll do that. We will
Because
do
Islam
that.
has Arman. That's a tough one.
Islam has Arman. So you got at least one more fight for Islam. Let's say if Chandler beats Oliveira, they said they would give him a title shot. So I think they would probably, I think they would probably want to honor that. I think Dana really likes Michael Chandler,
He
so
does.
they would probably honor that. So that gives you, we'll say a year-ish, maybe a little more to continue to build Ilia. And then think about that. If you've given him 2 or 3 more fights and he's become this gigantic star, you've got Islam who's won 2 more fights now. That's a mega, mega, mega fight.
That's a mega fight. And then
Yes.
is that one that you would consider it a much closer fight?
What? That's one where I'd be like Luis and I'd say, Daniel, I've never asked you for anything. Give me a damn front row seat to this.
That's one of no Luis.
Luis,
Hey,
come on, man. We
bro,
got front row seat to the
Luis
damn.
takes front row seats. Luis literally sat when a fighter sat at the Sphere, bro. Luis
The
literally sat in
Sphere.
the front
Come
row.
on.
Whenever they did it, I called the lady at the UFC. I go, why did you give him such a great fucking time? I was all pissed off, bro. I was so mad. He's sitting next to Justin Gaethje the whole time. It was crazy.
So funny.
But that's a fight that you think would be more competitive because right now it sounds like.
Hell yeah,
Do you
that's a
think
competitive
Arman?
fight.
But let me ask you this: do you think Arman can compete with Islam?
I think it's a competitive fight, but I'm definitely leaning towards Islam winning the fight. Um, Dustin had a good battle with Islam, but I think he's the champion. So there are times when the person who is the champion, and Chael talks about this, the person, a great example would be Merab and Sean. Sean got the belt, but he did not fight Merab on the way up, right? And they had prevented Merab from the shot. Merab had prevented himself a little bit because he didn't want to fight Aljamain. I get it. But when Sean got the belt, we weren't certain that he was the best guy in the division because we're like, well, there's this Merab guy who's really good and he's got to fight him to prove to us he's the best. And there's other divisions that are like that. Honestly, a little bit like DDP and Chimaev at this point in time. Like,
you think Chimaev beats DDP?
I want to see it before I crown DDP. I mean, he is holding the belt right now. But, like with wrestling, the thing we have the world championships tomorrow is like, they're all going to wrestle. And this, Daniel, wrestling's real because there's no one who says, oh, if I would have wrestled there, I'd beat everybody. It's like, no, shut up, show up or you're not the best. That's it. And fighting, we don't always get that all the time. But I feel like Topuria is the best in his division. I feel like Islam.
Well, he just beat the two best Max had the belt from 16 to 19. Then Volk had it from 19 to 24.
That's crazy, right?
Back to back.
That's like 8 years we were talking.
Yeah.
I said it was a while, but 8 years, that's freaking insane.
Yeah. So, but you feel like he's the best. But then Khamzat Chimaev breaks Robert Whittaker's teeth. And then
that's crazy. They bumped him up 10 spots in this thing from 13 to 3.
Yes. Yo, he breaks Robert Whittaker's teeth. Bro, when he squeezed Kevin Holland, did you see his eyes?
Yes.
They're like bloodshot red. What kind of squeeze does Khamzat Chimaev have? Bro.
Hey, you know how they got that little hand squeezer?
Yes.
You see that thing they use it? They need to make a bigger one. I've actually been thinking about this. Daniel, you know some people. So if you want to steal my idea, give me a few bucks, whatever. So for like a gut wrench or a cradle or a rear naked choke, I've always thought what they could do is they could make some type of, you know how like you get a football and it's deflated, right? And
Yep.
you plug a little thing in there, and then you pump it up, and it gets really like hard and strong, right? You make some type of device that has its own air pump in it, kind of like, I don't know if you know those inflatable beds where you just like twist the knob and they blow up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay,
Yep.
so you have a big like circular thing, right? And you just practice crushing it, kind of like I crushed the watermelons, and then it blows back up, right? And you squeeze it again, and it blows back up,
To
and you
make
just practice.
that would help with your gut wrench squeeze for real.
Gut wrench squeeze, cradle squeeze, rear naked chokes, right? All this type of squeeze, because
Ben,
you
Ben,
think about
Ben.
what?
Let's keep this.
Okay, you can just get the right people. Let
Yes.
me just finish. I'll finish. So like you can do a pull
No,
up, which
no.
works.
Don't put too much of the idea. Keep the
Row,
idea for a
but there's
personal
nothing
conversation.
where we're connecting all of the muscles at the same time. And that was when I tell my dudes in practice, like, you want to get good at squeezing people, you get a hold on someone, you got to just squeeze the shit out of them. Like, you try to squeeze them as hard as you can every single time you get in one of these positions.
That is true. And that's a great idea for wrestling.
Yeah.
Hey, so if Chimaev is a minus 200 favorite
Yes.
over DDP.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
and then
wow.
Chimaev is a minus 250 favorite over Sean. But Sean DDP is minus 110, minus 110. Right?
Wait, so hold on. Can I ask you a question, though?
Go ahead.
Sometimes I don't stay up on the news. Are DDP and Sean, are they already on the schedule? Or are they just
So DDP and Sean are supposed to fight. Once
but they're
Sean
not on
beat
the
Paulo
schedule.
Costa, no, it's not scheduled.
Okay.
Once Sean beat Paulo Costa, they said he's next. But then Chimaev does.
I think you might skip Chimaev
So
here.
that's what I was going to say. If you have, to your point, Ben, you said you don't always feel like the best guy is holding the title.
Yes.
If Chimaev is favored almost 3-1 against Sean,
yes.
he's favored 2-1 against the champion. But the champion is fighting someone else. Do we really have the best guy in the division fighting for the belt?
And that's why I say I think you skip it. I think you put Chimaev in there. Now, as impressive as Chimaev did look against Robert Whittaker, and he looked awesome. He's had fights where he hasn't looked quite as awesome, right? So he had
against who? Gilbert Burns and
Gilbert Burns with a fight
Usman.
that was, and Usman. Both those fights were really competitive. Where he was the better guy, but you thought, okay, this could. I'm not quite as convinced. And then you watch him do what he did to Whittaker, which Whittaker alleges, and he's had that same injury twice. That's a weird injury. Like, it's like a jaw break, like right here, where his teeth got pushed back. So he said it's happened twice before. So maybe that bone is weak, but that is because I'm sure you said it. You actually, you were being broadcasted. But you said, "Holy crap! Why did he tap so fast?" That was so weird.
Yeah, I did. I was like, "Wait, what?" Yeah. Now I understand after seeing that.
That was what I thought. I thought, "Oh my god, what just happened?" Like, I actually thought maybe it was like the punch before the choke.
And he tapped like fast, like a panicky tap, like
panicky, so fast. Yeah,
yeah. It was like, please, stop.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, Robert Whittaker would never tap to something like that. Not a neck crank, but then when you see his teeth. So would you be okay with them just putting Chimaev in there for the belt?
Yes, I'd be okay.
Really?
I think that's probably advisable.
Really?
Yeah.
So you have advice for the organization?
The boss man? Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ben.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, time for Funky's Corner. So Ben, Francis Ngannou fought last week, and he beat Renan Ferreira.
Yeah.
Dana White has long not been a fan of Francis. Let's be honest, because he doesn't believe Francis is a good guy. There were some things that happened into the build of the first Miocic fight that really bothered Dana White.
Yeah.
And he just does not like Francis. Let me read this to you. Dana White said, when asked about Francis Ngannou and the fight last weekend, he goes, he said, Francis Ngannou will never be back in business with me. He said, I don't think about Francis that much. You guys asked me the question about the PFL, and I responded. Other than that, the only one who's praying for his demise is probably the PFL, because They signed a shitty contract with a guy that doesn't deliver any numbers. And you think it sells the pay-per-views. So, and they keep praying for this guy however long. Good for him, not good for them. He can play those games if he wants. He would have made more money here. I didn't like Francis as a person. White said he wasn't the guy I wanted to do business with. My boys were telling me he's misunderstood, and I told them when somebody shows you who they are, you got to believe him. It wasn't about him becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. Francis isn't a good guy. He plays the good guy. I don't understand the language. So he seems like a nice guy. He's not. And just not a guy that I wanted to be in business with, period, in the story, whether he became the champion or not.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I knew you were gonna lead me into this, so I will just go ahead. I mean, I obviously had the same experience with Dana, and I mostly think Dana does a great job. Obviously, as a businessman, strictly judging that, he does an amazing job. I think he showed a lot of courage when he brought the UFC back for all of the professional sports, for example. I respect that a lot. I love that he's stuck up for his friend Donald Trump when everyone wanted him to crap on him. So there's a lot of things that are very respectable about Dana's personality. But in my own experience, and actually we were at the meeting together in 2013. It was the Monday after Jones fought Gustafsson.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, you can vouch for me, I wasn't offered a contract. I went in there and I pretty much said, listen, guys, I want to be done with Bellator. I want to prove I'm the best in the world, and I want to fight the best. And that's it. That's all I want to do. And I was not offered a contract. To which point then Dana spent years lying, saying, I didn't want to fight the best. I didn't want challenges. I was running away. And like that couldn't have been further from the truth. And so it sucked to have this guy like essentially, it is essentially slander. I wasn't going to do a lawsuit or anything, but saying things about me that I knew weren't true. And Dana has this part about personality when he can't get what he wants. And like in that case, he didn't offer me a contract. So he kind of got what he wanted. But then I think because I was continuing to have success and people were continuing to follow me, he wanted me off in a dark corner where everyone ignored me or something. I don't know. But he's done the same thing with Cyborg. I believe Randy Couture had a similar experience. Obviously now Francis. If I thought really hard, I could probably think of some other ones. But there's this weird part of Dana's personality where if he doesn't get exactly what he wants, he just starts crapping on people. And because he has a big microphone and because he is generally very truthful and generally he's correct, so people just believe him. And so I had to deal with many years of Dana telling lies about me that were just really harmful to me that he had no reason or basis for doing. I wanted to fight the best in 2013 and therefore, at any time forward. And, so then he got me in 2019 when I was, I probably should have had a hip replacement prior to that, but it was like, hey, this is my opportunity. I'm going to take it. I don't care if I'm not optimized where I should be. Like I get an opportunity, I take an opportunity, and I'm not going to complain about it. But yeah, I would have loved to have that in 2013.
How about now? Do you see Dana when you see Dana? Like, how are you guys now?
I don't see Dana ever.
You've never seen him since you finished fighting?
No, I haven't seen Dana since I finished fighting. I'm not in that world anymore. Like, I don't really train very many fighters, if any. Yeah, I do this with you, but I don't do too much more. I've kind of like said, I just do my own thing. I coach wrestling. I enjoy coaching wrestling. I tweet a little bit. I wrote a couple books, I guess. Hey, buy Extreme Balance. So I do a few things, but no, I'm kind of out of that world a little bit, and I observe it and I watch it and I enjoy it.
So doing this like
this
gives you like PTSD?
No,
not
like I'm totally okay with what happened.
You watch it. I'm not talking about you losing. I'm talking about like it's a world that you somehow broke away from. Like, do you really want to be involved in it? Is the question.
I like coaching more wrestling more than I like coaching fighting. If the right fighter came around and said, "Hey, would you help me?" I think I would.
I think you would do a tremendous job as a coach.
I think I would really enjoy that. Yes.
MMA. I think you should coach MMA fighters.
If someone came to me and said, "Hey Ben, I want you to train me," I think I would take that on. But it's one of those things where it's like when you live your life, you live it moving forward, and it's like I can't go back to 2013 and have a redo. I will tell you, I do get jealous a little bit. Like say when a Chimaev is like, "Fuck, I could have done that in 2013 to people," and I didn't get the opportunity to, and Dana stole that from me. But you got to say like, hey man, That's how life works sometimes. Sometimes you don't get what you want. I have moved on. I have a pretty fucking great life, so
You do.
I'm good with it. But let's not acknowledge that part of Dana's personality. That's a really big negative, and I don't know why he's like that, and it doesn't really make sense, given the stature and the power that he has for him to throw little fits when he doesn't get exactly what he wants.
I'm gonna ask him about it next time I see him. I'll be like, "Hey,
Okay,
Ben
that's
was
fair.
asking about this part of this." I'll
Yeah.
ask him, and I'll tell
And
you what
I
he said.
think even as much as he probably respects you, this weird part of his personality, he probably will not give you a straight answer. He'll probably give you some type of bullshit answer because you know this, you know me. In 2013, I would have been more than happy to sign a contract in which I was paid less than a fair wage to have the ability to prove that I was best in the world. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't get the opportunity to do that. And you know me, and you know I would have done
Yeah,
that.
he probably
So
you out for sure.
like,
For
I
sure. I
don't know
remember
what
that.
he's going to tell
I
you
remember us
about.
walk. I
Yeah.
remember us walking in there together. I
Yeah.
remember us walking in there together.
Yeah. So I don't know what
I
he'll tell
actually
you.
walked out of there too and said, "Okay, we couldn't really come to an agreement." And I was like, "Well, I'll just fight, and then we'll see what I'm." We had the same kind
Yeah.
of attitude, right? Like,
Yeah.
just pay me whatever. I'll fight and beat these guys,
Yeah.
and then we'll figure it
And
out.
yeah. And honestly, that was kind of my thing is like, I will take a shitty paycheck to get in the door because I had that much faith in myself that I'm going to go do what I need to do and that I will achieve it. And listen, if I can't achieve it, maybe I don't deserve it. Like
Yeah,
that was kind of how I thought about it.
that's life. That's life. Hey, real
That's life.
quick, Dana wants Tony Ferguson to retire. I think we're all in agreement there. Yeah,
That's fair.
I think we're all in agreement there. Like
Yeah.
Tony needs to be done.
Yes. Yeah. And that's
Oh wait,
where,
did he not get cut? Did he not get cut after that last fight?
I don't believe I think Dana doesn't want to cut him because Dana knows that he actually still has a big name and could command money
No, I
otherwise.
think that if
And
he cuts him, he just knows.
he'll go fight somewhere else for sure.
Yes,
Yes.
that's why I think he doesn't cut him. I think he doesn't cut him because I think he knows he's going to keep going to fight for less money and organizations
Yeah.
where at least
It's a
in the
big deal to
UFC
them. It'll be a big deal to have Tony Ferguson for that
No,
organization.
yes, that too. But it
Yeah.
also is like in the UFC, you can almost protect them with certain matchups. Like Michael Chiesa's fight, that wasn't that dangerous a matchup, fighting Michael Chiesa.
Yeah.
What's he going to do, submit you? He ain't
Yeah.
going to hurt you.
Yeah.
You
that's
go
fair.
fight in those Russian organizations, they may put him in there with a 22-year-old killer, and he could get really hurt. That's why I think they don't cut him. I think they don't cut him because if you cut him, he's still going to go fight. I
Yes.
just don't know where.
Yeah.
All right, Ben.
So, but that's whole, okay. I mean, but on that thought, it's like, hey, Dana can't get what he wants. And, and this one, he's probably right. If Tony probably should retire and move on. But we are all human beings with our own freedom. And so he should allow Tony to have the freedom to do what he wants.
Well, Tony
unfortunately.
wants to stay in the UFC. He doesn't want to go anywhere else.
Well, but this is where Dana, in this case, you could say, unfortunately, you've lost 8 in a row. You're just not competitive enough to be here. Sorry, I love you. You're cut. I think you should stop fighting, but you're a man. You can do what a man wants to do.
He said, Tony said he's too old to retire.
Well,
all right, Ben.
suppose.
Guys, that's another episode of Funky the Champ. For Ben Askren, I'm Daniel Cormier. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.